Hey everybody, it's GoblinX, and welcome back to another premiere draft of Foundations, the brand new format that's going to be a core set in Standard for the next 5 years. Great set to collect on Arena or anywhere for that matter. These cards are going to be legal in every format for quite some time. That is the spiel about the set. Without further ado, let's see what it's like in draft, shall we? For our pack one, pick one, I want to try out some of the new hot stuff. I have no idea how good this Leyline Axe is going to be. It's a lot of mana to cast and a lot to equip, but +1/+1 double strike and trample is a big game. Even if you equip a 2/2 with this, a 3/3 double strike trample is a big enough threat. It needs to be dealt with quickly. And obviously, if you have this card in your opening hand and you put this on the board for free, that can be really, really scary, just the threat of equipping this thing. So Leyline Axe seems really fun, really unique, and I want to see how well it plays. So I'm just going to start with the Leyline Axe here. The other benefit to it is that it is a colorless spell, so no matter what we end up drafting, we can shove it in the deck and see how it plays out for us. So now we have High Fae Trickster. This seems very strong. A 4 mana 4/2 flash flyer, and all of your spells now have flash. So that makes your counter spells really, really good. Part of the downside of cards like counter spells is that when your opponent doesn't cast a really good spell and you don't want to use the counter spell, you've now spent all of your mana essentially on nothing. You held up a bunch of lands and then didn't even tap them. So with a High Fae Trickster, now you can do everything at instant speed during their turn. So that's the most common thing you can do with it, is run a deck with a bunch of counterspells and get a lot of advantage that way. But there's plenty more tricksy stuff you can do. Your opponent's never going to know what you have up on blocks because you just flash it in out of nowhere. There's lots of stuff that goes really well with the Trickster, so this seems like a great card to take. I also really like Arbiter of Woe. We played this in our first draft deck, our Rakdos deck. This is a fantastic finisher in black. I would take this really highly. I think it's probably black's best uncommon. Super, super good card, but let's go for variety here and try something we haven't tried yet. I also like that white card, the +1/+1 to all your creatures every time it attacks. That card's also quite good, but we played a nice Boros aggro deck in Sealed. So pick 3. We've got a Stab here for efficient removal. It's going to be a pretty high pick. Incinerating Blast, 5 mana is a lot, but you do get to ditch something you don't need to draw another card when you cast this. Oh, it's sorcery speed as well. I mean, if we have the High Fae Trickster on board, we get around that, but generally 5 mana, sorcery speed, 6 damage, a lot of downsides to this card. Zombify is really nice in the right deck, and blue-black is probably the best deck for it because you have the most ways to draw a card, discard a card. And that's going to turn all of those into ways to shove something good to Zombify in your grave. So I like the Zombify as well, but I feel like Stab is probably just a higher pick, because just efficient removal is incredibly important, especially with how good Boros has seemed so far, and just aggro decks in general. Having the cheap removal feels big. I'm going to grab the Stab here. Pick 4, Micromancer's insane with Stab. 4 mana 3/3 draw a Stab. 4 mana 3/3 draw a card is just good. And if you have extra instants and sorceries in your deck, more than one that costs 1 mana, then this is really, really good because it's a flexible piece of card draw. Take the Micromancer there. Pick 5. This looks like a good draft spot to be in Dimir. Bunch of good blue cards and still a Stab. So just good blue and black here. Really happy with the colors that we're in right now. This is a little narrow. Only lets you recast zombies from your graveyard. So you have to draft a bunch of zombies. There's a decent amount of them, but not a million. I feel like I'd probably just take another Stab. But Feybloom Trick seems good too. 2/1/1 flyers and tap something at instant speed. And Spectral Sailor's definitely good. It's a very good mana sink to just draw a bunch of cards in the late game. If each player just runs out of spells to cast, but you have a Sailor on board, you're going to win that game every time. Because every time you both miss and you just draw a land, you just dump all your mana this and draw a million. I think I've actually talked myself into that. I'm also deeper into blue than black, so you should probably stay in that direction a little bit. If Progenitus didn't shuffle back into your library when you discarded it, we could try to reanimate it, but the fact that it does means it's going to be very impressive to see anybody ever resolve this, because there are very few ways to cheat it out when the uncommon way, the Zombify, doesn't work on it. So Spectral Sailor, flyers in general are really good with Gold Vein pick. We have Spectral Sailor and High Fate Trickster, and we're in blue in general, so we'll probably have a lot. I think the pick looks fine here. Although this Erudite Wizard, the blue-black color pair is about drawing 2 cards every turn. Or I guess just blue in general is about that. So that could be good. Pick 7. Looks like a bunch of pretty bad stuff. This Librarian's actually really good. Build your own Seraph's Packmate. Yeah, that's a great card. 4 mana for a 3/3 draw card. It's a Micromancer in green. Is that good enough to go towards green now? I mean, I'm only a stab deep into black, and the black spell is Fake Your Own Death, which is not great. I mean, this Adept is probably good because it flashes in and everything. But I expect towards green with that Librarian still there. Hey, Micromancer number 2. I like Refute. Cancel just got way better. Now you get to counter their spell, draw a card, and discard a card. And Refute seems like it'll be really, really good if we go blue-black and we get Zombify and stuff. But Micromancer we can build around no matter what our color pair is. We can take some good 1-mana instants and sorceries. Depending on the set, cards like Uncharted Voyage are pretty good. So back in Duskmourn, this card, it was like the exact same card. I guess it hit non-lands instead of just creatures. That does make it a lot better. But this can be pretty good. Pick 9 Helpful Hunter, though. That's really good value. 2 mana, 1/1 draw a card. Bite Down's okay. I guess if we do end up in blue-green, we're not going to have good removal in that color pair, so might as well. But I think Helpful Hunter's the best card in the pack if you disregard colors. Pick 10 Infestation Sage, Heir Apparent if you can get a bunch of them. And Rune Sealed Wall, which is super unexciting, but maybe good if you just want to dirtle around with a bunch of flyers. Yeah, I'm not pumped about any of this. I guess I'll just take the blue spell, because that's the only color we're definitely playing right now. Pick 12, this is all booty. Take the uncommon. I have High Fate Trickster and double Micromancer. I'm not going to have room for Lightshell Duo. I don't think the card's unplayable or super bad or anything. But I don't want to play like 5 4-drops, and I already have 3 4-mana cards, so that just doesn't seem like a thing. Alright, so we can Tachiova towards blue-green. Just blue-green, draw a bunch of cards, the deck, which could be good. But there's also Valkyrie's Call. Whenever a non-token non-angel dies, bring it back with a +1/+1 counter as an angel. 5 mana, do nothing. That's a lot. But now your opponent can't kill any of your creatures for the rest of the game. Because if they kill your creature, you just have a giant angel now. I mean, that's quite spooky. That makes us want to draft 0 angels, though, which is kind of funny. Because some of the white creatures that we would want to play would be angels. Interesting. I think we just try more of the new hot stuff. I know for sure we could draft a great Tachiova deck here. Tachiova and Mild-Mannered Librarian and stuff, but I want to try the new cards and see how well they play, much like I'm trying the Leyline Zax here. Wow. That card's really good in our deck. I mean, it's really good in general. We need more good instants and sorceries for this. But just 4 mana 3/3 Flash Flyer is already great in our deck. Join the party. Sphinx of Forgotten Lore. Pick 3. No 1 mana instants and sorceries. 1 mana instants and sorceries are insanely high picks now, because we have 2 Micromancers for them, and of course the Sphinx with the flashback. The cheaper they are, the easier it is to flashback. There's kind of none of that right now. I guess Luminous Rebuke's pretty good to flashback. We can do this for 2 mana, destroy a tapped attacking creature, and then we can Sphinx on turn 4, flash this out during their end step, untap, play land 5, attack flashback Rebuke on their blocker before they can block the Sphinx. Yeah, I think this leads to some really good play patterns with the Sphinx of Forgotten Lore. It's going to be great in our blue-white deck. Pick 4. I guess Inspiration from Beyond could be interesting here, because we're wanting to fill the grave for Sphinx. And it's also more flashback stuff. Could also play Make Your Move to have more potential removal in the graveyard for the Sphinx. Hmm. Blue and white kind of feel like the worst colors for Micromancer, sadly. Red and black both have 1 mana removal. You can find Burst Lightning or Stab. I don't know what blue and white have that we can grab off Micromancer, which is awkward. I think I just take straight up removal over the mill thing. Oh, there we go. Well, now I know what they have. With double Micromancer, we're kind of forced to take the Joust through, which is awkward because this pack did clump up a lot of good cards for this deck. Refute is obviously great. Lunar Insight doesn't look very good right now. We only have one 1-mana permanent, one 2-mana permanent, one 3-mana permanent. It's going to be like draw one card because we're always just going to have a 4-drop on board. But the Ink Mage looks good too. 3-mana 2/2, Surveil 3. Good little card selection there, and then it's unblockable in the late game. And of course, the dual land is also valuable. Pick 6, Cathar Commando. Love some flash creatures, and we are loaded with them here. The more the merrier. Fleeting Distraction's another card I can grab off of Micromancer. I think Felidar Savior's a very good card. 4-mana 2/3 lifelink, put some counters on the board, but again, we have 4 really good 4-drops. Can't really clump up there, and you do really need to curve into the Felidar Savior. You need to play a 2-drop, a 3-drop, then the Savior, or like a 1-drop, a 2-drop, then the Savior. We're not like curving very often here. Let's just get the Fleeting Distraction. Alright, Big Fin Bouncer's my favorite of these cards. Are we just really going to play nothing but 4-mana cards because it's funny? Probably not. Prideful Parent is still very good. 2/2 and a 1/1 for 3. It's got Vigilance as well. Fills out our mana curve way better. Strix Lookout looks great. Vigilant Attacker in the sky. We are not going to have a wide enough board to want Claws out. We'll take Evolving Wilds. Another flash creature with the Elemental Adept. Although Uncharted Voyage is a good card to flashback with Sphinx. That could be cool too. Pick 12. This is basically like 3-mana draw card at best. You do select what you draw, but I don't know. We're not a Savannah Lions deck, so I'm still going to draft this, but I don't think this card's good. Unless you're a really dedicated Threshold deck and you need a massive graveyard. Oh, nice. Nobody's in blue-white. Last pick, Tranquil Cove. Not last pick, but close enough. Final pack. What goodies do we have? Phyrexian Arena. Tragic. Because that would actually be really good in blue-black. Well, we didn't take any refutes, and we've got a bunch of instant speed creatures, so having the counterspell here can be pretty good. Aetherize is an interesting one. It's a bit high variance for me. Sometimes it's a blowout, sometimes it's just kind of stuck in your hand. Only bounces 1 creature for 4 mana, which is like a horrible deal. And Spanner of Kinship doesn't really do anything. We don't have a bunch of creatures of the same creature type. Yeah, we take the refute here. I might splash black so that we can grab Stab off of Micromancer, but there's no way we can get double black into the deck. Okay, Tolarian Terror looks great. There's no counterspell here we're missing out on. We are missing out on Resolute Reinforcements, which is good in a blue-white flash deck, but we could really use a top-end just boss monster like Tolarian Terror to finish things up. Pack 3, pick 3. Another Evolving Wilds to grab the Stab. Sarah Angel is a very nice card, but then we're playing an Angel with Valkyrie's Call. It's probably still good enough to take it, but I like the Stab Splash with double Micromancer quite a lot, so I'm going to make sure that we have perfect mana for that, which is going to mean double Evolving Wilds, 1 Swamp, boom, we're there. Double Evolving Wilds, 1 Swamp, 1 Stab, and we're really there. Double Evolving Wilds, 1 Swamp, 1 Gold Vein pick, and we're really there. Pick 4. So every time one of your creatures dies this turn, or is put into your graveyard this turn, you can tap this, get a copy of it. But then you exile everything else you got a copy of. Whenever you draw a card, put +1/+1 counter. If this sticks around, it gets pretty big. But obviously up front it's pretty small, and that is a lightning rod for removal as soon as possible. Seems fine here. I am already splashing for stab. I kind of don't mind the Eaten Alive splash as well, because then that's 2 different black removal spells we can grab with Micromancer. If we get another black land to fix, that'd be beautiful. This is probably very good. Yep. Slam dunk, join the party. Every time we cast a non-creature spell, get a 1/1 flyer or flicker one of our creatures for its enter effect. Here's another spell we can grab with the Micromancers, although Prideful Parent might be better. So I've got the Joust, the Distraction, and the 2 black removal spells. Yeah, that's enough. We'll take the Prideful Parent. That also makes the Eaten Alive better. The Eaten Alive splash. We've got the little cats. It feels wrong to sack cats, but it will be good. Another Spectral Sailor. I like Big Fin Bouncer as well. Even the Icewind Elemental looks good. Lots of blue goodies in this draft pod. 3rd Evolving Wilds. Go with our 1 Swamp. I don't mind Think Twice either, but Eaten Alive plus Stab. I like triple Evolving Wilds in this deck. Pick helps too. I don't think I played double pick though. I'm definitely not going to play this Inspiration at this point. Yeah, I'm not going to play any of these because I'm not going to play double pick. I guess I'll rare draft a brand new uncommon that I definitely don't own yet. Voyage is an option that we can consider here. Maybe better than running more cheap cards, but I don't want to get absolutely steamrolled by Boros. But we'll see how prevalent that is. Well, this deck looks pretty fun. Coaches 1 run away together. Okay, 3 cuts. So run away together. That's pretty good on Prideful Parents and Helpful Hunter. It's good on Micromancers as well. There aren't a million cards it's good on, but there's enough that I think it's fine in here. That could be one of the potential cuts. Make Your Move is flexible enough. Usually you're going to find a target. But there will be a matchup or two where it's just really bad because it's never going to do anything like Boros aggro. Maybe even Rakdos aggro is small enough, low to the ground enough as well. So that's a little sketchy. Leyline Axe is just hilarious and fun, so I want to try it here. But this actually looks like it's not the greatest Leyline Axe deck. Probably not actually that good in here of all the color pairs we could have played, but still want to try the new hotness. And I think mostly we want to end up cutting creatures here. So like this Adept looks pretty filler. I just like mostly flyers and flash creatures. Well, I mean, this does have flash, but I like the Commando better for the main deck Naturalize. Maybe we don't go so slow that we want the wall here. Generally, like the parents are kind of a wall for us. We have a little bit of removal. Yeah, cut those, and then one of these two. Oh, if Make Your Move ends up sucking, I'll put the bounce spell back in, I think. Run away together. 11 blue cards, 9 white. Just go even split on it. Ka-ching. Sure. This looks good. Great mana. Fun looking deck here. Little bit weak for early blockers, but there's still kind of plenty. The parents help a lot there. 3 2-drops, 2 1-drops. We've got Stab, Joust Through, Luminous Rebuke for early removal. Looks like this deck's got some wings. Let's go ahead and hop into the gameplay and see how it does. Oh, pre-game actions, baby! Snap Keep. Never mulligan the Leyline Axe. That looks highlighted. Yeah! Could you imagine if I just did it wrong immediately? Like, didn't put it out. We against Boros already? Do I just immediately get to find out what the bane of the format is day one? And I just play against Boros all day? Probably need to get a black source. I mean, I guess I need double blue. I need double blue and double white in this hand. But I only have one swamp in the whole deck, so you can see the argument to just crack for the swamp here. Because if I draw either Micromancer or any of the black spells, that's going to matter a lot. Let's see how dumb this ends up being. Hey, I am smart. We found Micromancer. We obviously already drew the Joust through, so if I want to draw removal off Micromancer, I have to pick one of the black spells. Three Vigilance, Double Strike, Trample. Please tap out, opponent. Do it. Play your 4-mana 4/3. They didn't tap out. They're just gonna kill it if I put an axe on it. So we slam and play a Sphinx in their end step. What is this? Goblin surprise. Sure. Guess I should have put an axe on. But I have a flash spell, so. Oh, axe on the Sphinx. Big. Honestly, maybe we're still supposed to just put the axe on the cat, because they can't block a 3/3 double strike very well right now on the ground. Exile the equipment? What fresh nonsense is this? The perfect spell? Eat my butt. Yeah. No. Sure. Strike. So make your move. Alright, well. We're taking 1 damage a turn, so we put this out and we just can't lose if they don't blow it up. Gorehorn Raider. My face! No! Alright, 19. You know what's really funny? No, we'll save that if they play something actually dangerous. But I can Micromancer for Eaten Alive, sack Micromancer to the Eaten Alive, reanimate it, exile one of their creatures, and it's a flyer, and I get another spell. That's actually nuts. Nessian Hornbeetle. That's a fine removal target. It'll get bigger than the Raider. Sure, I'll draw a card and turn this into a flyer. To the skies we go! My cat is an angel. It was always an angel to me. God, Prideful Parent's so good with that too. Alright, well, I mean, we're killing them fast enough in the sky. We don't need to Micromancer anybody right now. Let's just get the board ready here. I guess I still will get some Micromancer. I have enough mana. How on earth could you do that to a cat like that? Just trample it down with goblins? Monstrous behavior from our opponent. I don't endorse any of this. I did technically sack a cat earlier, but that was to give it flying. It was for the greater good. It was beneficial to the cat too. Doesn't the cat want to have wings? Do you not want to see a cat with wings? Come on. I probably should have still trumped because the Valkyrie's call would end up giving lethal here. Oh, do it. Shoot the parent. No, my face. Alright, I misplayed there. Missed lethal this turn. We're still vibing. Also, I could have held that land to discard it to the Strix Lookout. But I'm playing fast and sloppy. It is what it is. I click button fast. There's the concession from our opponent. We are 1-0 heading into game 2. Alright, game 2 on the play. All of our colors, loving the mana base. And we're just rolling out here. There's the stab. We need the black mana for that. I think we're good to play two drops in a row then, and then play the tap land turn 3. I don't need to play Simba and Mufasa here. Burst lightning, sure. It's pretty fine, because that'd be 4 damage later. Oh, Boros. Fine. We've got a creature that survives stab. That is really rough, because if this gets any counters, that thing is going to be deadly. Probably have to rebuke it. Yeah, it's already got a counter from this Dazzling Angel. Angel, you say? No, I rebuke thee, Satan. Angel in disguise. The fallen angel. Well, the stab is not lining up well this matchup. They're playing all 3 toughness duders. But that's part of the benefit of stab, is that it can be used as a combat trick. So if they like block, I can make that a 0-1, and then what on earth are you? Cat Collector. Whenever you gain life for the first time during each of your turns, create a 1/1 cat. Oh my god, that's so good with Dazzling Angel. Jesus. So every time they play a creature, they gain a life and get a cat. Plus they have the food there. Oh, I could have stabbed that in response to the Angel trigger. New sets means new ways to play very loose. And also to draw very poop. Yeah, I guess I should have just read the card 1 second faster than I did. That's what really got me. I was kind of like still reading the card when I passed priority to let the 1 life gain happen. Oof. Hello, big boy. Kerchunk. Make your move. Spend the extra mana to kill the Galarian Terror. Sadness. Our blocks are terrible for the first striker, so we're taking 5 a turn now. Fleeting Distraction helps, but it doesn't. With the new way that combat works, they don't like order these blockers to where like I can Fleeting Distraction anywhere super well. I would Fleeting Distraction, they know they have 2 damage, so they would just be like, alright, first strike away the parent. Does Commando even do it? Commando doesn't even do it, right? Because I can flash in Commando, block with everybody, Fleeting Distraction, and then they're like, okay, 1 damage there, 1 damage there. And then it still doesn't die because there's only a 2/2 left to fight with it. I probably have to just cycle this immediately towards actually drawing something that matters. This first strike's just too strong, and on island definitely doesn't matter. I guess I could have like attacked both and then maybe tried to Fleeting Distraction the cat token. And that only works if they block, obviously. Otherwise, it just plays out the same way, but I don't have a trump blocker up. But I'm not planning on chump blocking right now. That is horrific. I'm completely out of gas, and now they have a card draw engine on board. They can just keep sinking mana into that to draw more creatures from their deck. Three first strike is just wild. It's too good. Well, no matter how I block here, I lose my whole board. Unless I don't chump. Like, I could have went Commando and the 1/1 on their 3/4. And then didn't block with the 2/2. I think I wanted to chump there, so just chump the other way. That's hilarious. Well, did not play that out right. I should have realized earlier the little life gain interaction on their new card, but this draw versus that draw loses every time, and we are 1-1 heading into game 3. All right, here we are on the play for game 3. This can't be keepable. We need to play a white creature to put a pick on it to then get the white mana, which is obviously counterintuitive. I need white mana to get white mana. That's not gonna work out. So we have to top deck multiple planes here. God, if I top deck one planes, the hand is really good, but it's just quite a risk. All right, this mana is much better. Yeah. It is actually still slightly awkward. Because I can't get double white and double blue. I have to just get one of each and hope. I guess I get the blue source first. Work my way towards double blue first, because that's the first that I need. Okay. And then I have to just get a plane, so I can play that turn 3 Prideful Parent that we drew. So yeah, that's about as awkward as possible. Pray for the second, have no guarantee. Okay, well now I'm just going to stab Gormon, so I actually wait on Evolving Wilds to see what land I draw. Because I'm tapping out of being able to play anything else anyway. Probably should have Fleeting Distraction. Just cycle that into a land. Thankfully, they let me do that here. Land. Nope. If I hit a land, having double blue for Sphinx is good, but if I don't top deck a land here and I don't pick a plains, then I'm casting nothing this turn, so I'll take the plains. If I do top deck a land, I can play High Fae Trickster, and that's still good. Just not quite as good as Sphinx. It only has 2 toughness, so we pass through. Diagraph Ghoul. Trickster. Probably gets refuted here. They've got 3 mana up. But these 2 spells are both stronger than Trickster. Well, everything has flash, so we're jamming. I really like getting Sphinx on board with the Stab Engrave. I don't even think I put it at risk of combat right now. Because I'm just down to 14. That's perfectly reasonable. Oh, I don't have double blue. Well, shoot. I guess I Prideful Parent, then I don't really want a Valkyrie's Call against all this open mana. Here's Downfall. Alright. Well, they could have done that in response to Valkyrie's Call anyway. And now they can't counter Valkyrie's Call. Or Sphinx. But let's just call. They have Fleeting Distraction in hand. They have a 1 blue mana card. I think that's most likely Fleeting Distraction. I'm going to hold on to this island so that if they have the burglar rat, I don't have to discard the Sphinx. It would still be really bad if they have the burglar rat, because then I discard the Sphinx and, or sorry, discard the island and can't cast the Sphinx. So I guess I should have played an island for the turn. Oh god, this thing is a nightmare, isn't it? Yeah, this thing's insane. This absolutely bodied me during the pre-release as well. Literally any time a non-token creature dies, they draw a card. So if a single trade happens on board, they draw 2 cards. It's like unbeatably good. Draw 2. My god. I mean, Valkyrie's Call is also, it's on that level. So we have a fight on our hands. Things triggers whenever this creature attacks, so it's not gonna trigger off my other stuff attacking here. This even has the built-in way to sack their own creatures to draw cards. Every time it attacks, they can sack one, put a counter on it, draw a card. Vampire Soul Caller. Well, that can't block, which is pretty important text. Can our multitude of rares beat one very, very good rare? Let's find out. Got the flashback of Fleeting Distraction here, because there's nothing to stab. Oh, 1 mana, man. That's lethal with 1 more mana. If they don't have, if they have their own stab, then it's not, I guess. God dang it. But I can't play it and equip it right now. There's our 1 more mana. Sure. 5 damage. Get this ready for next turn, or draw another card off Sailor. Gotta be get this ready for next turn. There's the Gourmand. I could Sailor and Chump, and then Sailor's a 2/2, but I don't think that's worth spending the Valkyrie trigger on. I can save it for if they kill it now, it just comes back. Yeah, it just comes back. That's why we don't Chump with Sailor. Helpful Hunter. Draw. Okay, life gain is something. Double strike onto any of these is lethal, but if I put it on a 3/3, then I'm out of reach of stab. So And put it on the 3/3 so they can't stab to survive here. This is going to be removal after we declare the attack. But if I can flashback stab, I kill the hunter when they block somebody else. Oh no, I don't have black mana up. Oh no. Was that auto tapper or me? Oh my god, I don't have black mana up. I don't even know if that was my fault or auto tappers. God dang it. I guess we lose then. What a frustrating punt. That we're tapped out of black there. Yeah, the hunter would just be gone here and then they'd definitely die. That's so frustrating. I don't know how this is not a mythic with the amount of cards it draws. I might as well. Basically already lost, but we're gonna see how they kill us here. And Big Fin Bouncer works. Means no counterattacks. I mean, I'm already just dead on board to unblockable Gormond. But yeah, I had no cards in hand here. They could have just killed me if they attacked with Hunter and Gormond, because they know I have no spells. Because Hunter gets a counter, so it's 7 damage, and Gormond gets unblockable, so it's 9. And I was at 9. Okay. Mist Lethal's good for me. I don't think it's enough. Because even if I rebuke this Hunter and play a Sphinx, I definitely die next turn. Yeah, I only win if they massively punt here. And just, like, don't block Hunter with everybody. Oh! Reverse punt! Yeah! I don't think I earned that win, not holding the black mana up, but I will certainly take it. That was a wild game of Magic. Yeah, that was really really bad. Certainly the turn that we didn't have the black mana up for the stab there. We cast a colorless spell or colorless equip costs and stuff and didn't hold black mana up. Super loose. I'm gonna try to manually tap in future games. Insane game though. Helpful Hunter. Incredibly helpful in getting the win for us. We are 1-1? 2-1. Heading into game number 4. Game 4. This is a pretty good hand. No black mana, but black is the splash card. Draw number 8, or card number 8 is Leyline Axe. Could have been any of these 7 and you'd be on the board right now. Leyline Axe got jokes for me. Bant from our opponent, blue, white, green, and nothing. Spells are for chumps, they say. I'm gonna have the Fleeting Distraction just to draw land here. Because, wow, do we need mana number 4 with 3 great 4-drops. Exile my nothing from my graveyard. Okay, Sphinx means that just rebuking a wolf is fine. Just for flashback. Bite down. Sure. That means they're probably not going to play another creature, so I'll draw a card. This doesn't do anything, but I need to draw land. I did, but it's a tap land. Oh no, another one. Actually, not the end of the world, because we do get the black mana for the Eaten Alive. But it's a bummer. Sphinx of Forgotten Lore would be infinitely better than grab a Swamp Pass. Uh-oh. 6 power over there. Untapped land is good. That lets me Micromancer, grab Joust, pass. Feels grossest. Yeah, take that, Auto Tapper. Never again. I like the Joust here because the 3/3 first striker is going to be pretty bad. Spinner of Souls is even worse. And now we kill nothing because we need to kill Spinner of Souls. If we let any of their creatures die, they reveal cards till they hit another creature and draw that. So we can't let them have a bunch of card advantage off that thing. We're going to have to kill that. So we need to Eaten Alive, sack Micromancer, I guess. Yeah, it's not super fun, but we have more than enough cards to win the game through this. I guess I should have attacked for 3 first, but whatever, I'm already clicking buttons. I guess there could be an argument for running double Swamp just so the Eaten Alive on occasion we can actually double black it. Yeah. One, two, three, four, five, 6. A land is enough mana to axe and equip in the same turn. Techiova's going crazy. Techiova's going what they call ham right now. Yeah, I have to play Sphinx then, because I need to kill this Techiova. Come on, dude. Actually perfect. Well, so much for flashback. They top decked, oops, your graveyard's gone. And then here comes the combat trick to demolish my soul. You got it. What a ridiculous lineup. Angel of Finality into Broken Wings. Could not have been a better couple of cards to have just pre-sideboarded. All right, here we are for game number 5. Hopefully running up against some average stuff here because we have been running into the absolute worst case scenario over and over now. Well, 2 turns in a row. Angel, exile my grave when I'm playing my flashback card into Broken Wings, my axe. It's just such a nasty end to our last game. Ruby and the Cerberus for the power 4 creature with the Ruby. So Ruby attacks as a 3/4 now. Big yikes. I have some really important 4-drops. I kind of think I have to play a tap land this turn instead of Prideful Parent, so I'm going to take a bit of a beating here. We take 7 for this. And then I get to jam out Sphinx to go for another stab. Soon-ish. Maybe not soon enough on the draw. Is they're on land 4 now? Yeah, no, I'd take at least another 7 if I tap out for Sphinx, because obviously I can't block with that. Okay, Bushwhack on Sailor's not terrible. Gets their Cerberus to untap, but it gets the Bushwhack out of their hand. And they still are just threatening 7 damage on board, which isn't quite lethal. They have to double up their damage across the board to kill me. Okay. Should play some big idiot this turn? No, they didn't, which means the odds of removal from our opponent is somewhat high. 5 mana up and no creatures to cast. Fingers crossed. No removal and we win. Removal and we lose. If they don't have removal, we get to attack and stab Cerberus, and they're down to a single 1/2 because they don't have a power 4 creature. There it is. Removal, and we lose. Well, double removal and we lose. They still need to get through this parent. The problem with that is that then Ruby attacks without the Cerberus as a 3/4. I guess Cerberus is tapped right now, actually. So I just trade Trickster into Ruby here. We did force them to kill this during our end step, so they didn't get to untap Cerberus off of killing it. Or in their end step. Alright, well Cerberus is untapped, but I've got the 2/2s. My life is pain, but we have a chance. Yikes. That is really good. They have a 4/4 to expand the board, and they've cleared out the 2/2. Have to kill it. I need to find something to deal with the parent now. Or sorry, to deal with the Indrik now. Okay, I've got exactly enough mana. They don't like flood out though. If their card in hand and on top of their deck is a basic land, then we're now in a top deck war. That is the best case scenario. And that's not the case. 4/4 crushes me. Kill the Trampler. More spells, we're down to 1. So close. But Zykar does nothing by himself. And that ends this run real early, I think. Yeah, 2 and 3. Rough run for this deck. We had some things line up really poorly. There was some bad variance here with like the Sphinx of Forgotten Lore getting our graveyard exiled, and then the removal on the axe when we went for the attack. That was just devastatingly perfect cards from our opponent. But for the most part, a lot of the losses as well have just been our opponents curving out really, really well. I thought this deck was going to be decent at blocking, again with the Prideful Parents putting a lot of work, and we have some cheap removal, but man, did it not play out like that for us. 2 and 3 is the end result. But that's Magic. That is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed watching and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.